Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. I hope you guys are well. Smash the like button on this video. Hit the subscribe button. Share the video, of course. Guys, really smash the like button. It helps the algorithm. It helps my channel. I really appreciate you guys. I really appreciate you guys, smashing that like button. Really helps the algorithm, helps my channel grow. So thank you very much. Thank you for your support. Guys, yesterday we had Jaron Ennis beat Clayton in two rounds. He hit him with a chopping right hand over the top, which I think was slightly on the back of the head. I know they said the temple, slightly on the back of the head. Irrespective, I think it was one-way traffic, and Boots Ennis was going to win the fight. I will say this. Jaron Ennis is probably one of the most gifted and talented fighters I've ever seen. I think he's one of the most naturally gifted fighters I've seen ever, possibly. He's that good. He was yesterday, the way he switched from orthodox to southpaw. He looks more comfortable in that southpaw. He looks more vicious in the southpaw stance, but even he basically got the knockout in the orthodox stance. This guy's got legit one-punch knockout power. He's so smooth in his movements. He's so fluid. Like, he's just brilliant to watch as well. They're saying that he hasn't even lost one single round since he started his pro career. Now, of course, the level of competition is not level of competition isn't great at this particular point. He's beating these guys pretty comfortably, and he's 29-0 now. But yeah, the talent and the skill level he's operating at a very high level. This guy is ready to be unleashed. The stabilizers need to come off, and this guy needs to be unleashed against all the top guys in the welterweight division. This guy's special. Like I said, I've been watching boxing a long time. I don't just hype people up, and especially when they have no resume, especially when their resume is thin like his. But I'm sorry, this guy is an exception. This guy is an exception. He is special. Jaron Ennis, for me, is going to be probably the best fighter in the sport in maybe a couple of years' time. I think he will probably be the #1 pound for pound. I just haven't seen a guy so gifted, and he just looks special. He just looks so good. He looks so good. Like I said, he's so fluid in his movements. His defense looks great. The way he switches, his punching power, his hand speed, his footwork, everything just looks so impeccable. Now, we haven't really seen him take a good dig from a big puncher yet, so we don't know about his chin. But at welterweight, I'd like to think it's going to be difficult for guys to knock this guy out, because this guy's massive. He's so big at the weight. He's massive. He's a beast. The guy's huge, and he's only 24. So he's going to fill out. He's going to become big. And like I said, I can see this guy going up to 160. He could probably become a 3-4 division world champion. He could probably go from 147 to even 168 in the future. He looks that good. The skills are impeccable. He's a good boxer. He can bang. He's got great footwork. For me, I haven't seen a more complete fighter in a very long time, especially at that younger age. He's so complete. He's so complete. And the fact that he can switch as well makes him, the guy's a frightening talent. And really, he needs to be tested now. He needs to be put in there against the best, really. And when I mean the best, I mean the best. I mean Thurman, Spence, Crawford, the best. Not like Danny Garcia, not like those. I'm saying the best. He is ready for the best. Now, some people may say, well, he needs one fight before he fights Spence or Crawford, like a Danny Garcia or a Thurman. No. He could fight Crawford tomorrow. He could fight Errol Spence tomorrow. He's ready. He's ready. There's no need for him to have any of these fights anymore. He can go jump right in. As he said after the fight, that I'm looking for all the big dogs. Anyone in the welterweight division can get it. And really, that should be their management team and the people around him. Like, normally I say that you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful with a guy with this talent. You don't want to just push him in there. But I'm saying with this guy, he's ready. He's ready. There's no point because at this point, he's just going in there and bashing these guys up and knocking them out in 1 or 2 rounds. It's not. He's not learning anything. You can tell from the eye test, the skill, the level of skill that Jaron Boots Ennis has. He needs to be tested. The only way he's going to be tested is if he fights Errol Spence, fights Terence Crawford. He wipes most guys out. Someone like Danny Garcia might test him in the sense that Danny Garcia's got a very good chin, so it's going to be hard for Ennis to take him out. Garcia's is a proven great chin, and also Garcia can punch. But at this particular point, I don't see how Danny Garcia would be able to deal with someone so skilled, so gifted, such a big guy at the weight and huge punching power. I'd even go as far as saying that Ennis stops Danny Garcia. And Garcia ain't going to go near Ennis. Or Garcia ain't going to fight Ennis. But for me, Boots Ennis would probably stop Danny Garcia. And Errol Spence just fought Danny. But this guy looks way better. Like, again, people may shoot me down for this. This guy looks way better than Errol Spence. Way better. Like when I saw Errol Spence, you could tell he was special. But this guy looks better. Even when Errol Spence was fighting at the level of competition that Ennis was fighting, Ennis just looks better for me. Like, the eye test doesn't lie. Like, he just looks so special. He looks so good. He looks so complete. Like I said, there's a lot of things that need to be tested when you step up, like your heart, your chin. These things are not being tested at this particular point because the level of competition isn't great. But for me, this guy has got to be one of the most gifted and one of the most talented fighters at that younger age ever. Like I said, he's probably one of the most gifted fighters I've ever seen. And that's saying something. I've been watching boxing now for a while. But the things that this guy can do in the ring, he looks a very complete fighter and very mature beyond his years. Not just that, he's very humble. He comes across very humble, very down to earth. You know, he doesn't come across arrogant. He comes across like he's a very hardworking kid. Like he lives, breathes boxing. And he looks like a workaholic. He looks like a gym rat, really. So really, the sky's the limit for someone like Jaron Boots Ennis. I don't see anyone stopping this guy anytime soon. Like, wow, what a talent. Like, I don't really get excited about fighters like that, but this guy is special. He's literally special. And I think the problem that he's going to have is none of these top guys are going to want to fight him. Now, he has become mandatory for Errol Spence's IBF title. So Errol Spence might have no choice but to fight him unless he fights Crawford next. I think there will come a point where he'll have to fight Boots Ennis. He'll have to fight Boots Ennis eventually if he wants to stay at the weight. But I don't think he will stay at the weight. I think as soon as Errol fights Terence Crawford, he's going to move up. And that will vacate the belts. The belts will become vacant. And I think then Ennis will start cleaning up. Like, he's short for sure an undisputed 147-pound champion. If he can make that weight for as long as he needs to in order to collect all those belts. Because I don't think Spence or Crawford are going to fight him. I think Spence and Crawford might even move up. Maybe Crawford stays at the weight. I don't know what Crawford decides to do. But yeah, I can't see anybody at welterweight. And I would even make a bold statement now. I think he beats Spence and Crawford. I do. I think he's that good. Like, come on, like, guys, like, I'm saying, I wouldn't say that about anyone else. But this guy is so good and so talented and so gifted. I can't, I'm sorry. The eye test don't lie to me. You know, the fact that he's a better switch hitter than Terence Crawford. And he's more vicious than Terence Crawford. He's bigger than Terence Crawford. He hits harder than Terence Crawford. You know, honestly, I don't see anybody beating Jaron Boots Ennis. I genuinely don't. I think he's special. I think he beats Crawford. I think he beats Errol Spence. And right now, I would say he beats them. I'm so high on this guy. He's definitely the next big star. Like, for me, he's even better than Shakur Stevenson. He's better. I reckon he's better than all of those guys. He is the best fighter, young fighter, up and coming guy. Yeah, he shouldn't be on the pound for pound list yet because just because you got great skills, his resume isn't good enough, and he hasn't never been a world champion. So you can't be on the pound for pound list if you've never been a world champion. But it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. This guy's more talented than Shakur. Shakur Stevenson, and not just that, he's more exciting. He's got more in his toolbox than Shakur Stevenson for me. He's got much more in his toolbox. Shakur Stevenson is like a safety first Mayweather type fighter where he'll win fight. Especially Mayweather early on in his career, Pretty Boy Floyd was special. But later on, Shakur more has a Money Mayweather feel about him where he just does what he needs to do to win. He's very gifted, very talented, but not the most exciting fighter. Whereas Boots Ennis looks very exciting to watch. He's got so much in his arsenal, so much in his toolbox. Yeah, man. I think this guy is. I think this guy's special. I do, and I don't. You don't probably see me that excited for a talent like this, but Jaron Boots Ennis, man, he's special, and I'm telling you now, nobody at welterweight, even right now, for me, beats him. Nobody at welterweight right now beats Jaron Boots Ennis. Nobody. I think he beats everyone. Ortiz, Spence, Crawford, Thurman, Garcia, the list goes on. He beats everybody for me. And I don't think these top guys, like a Thurman, like those guys, I know he wants to fight Keith Thurman next, and he said, he put Keith Thurman on notice, but I don't think Keith Thurman's going to want it. Why are you going to fight Ennis? What have you got to gain? He's a young, up-and-coming kid. Keith Thurman ain't beating Jaron Boots Ennis at this point, so there's no point. There's no point for Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman wants to fight at the guys that are champions. He's not going to go anywhere near Jaron Boots Ennis. Nowhere near. There's no point. There's no point. You're just going to get beat, and that's your career done. Because, let's be brutally honest, Thurman isn't the Thurman of old, and even the Thurman of old probably doesn't beat this guy. So not probably, but definitely, in my opinion. Like I said, I'm so high on Ennis, and I was high on Thurman. I thought there was a point in his career where he was the best welterweight in the world, but this guy might be one of the most naturally gifted welterweights, we've ever seen. And maybe since Sugar Ray Leonard, possibly. He's that good. He's that good. Of course, Floyd was Floyd, but Floyd wasn't a natural welter. But he was definitely, just say since Floyd, probably then. Even though we've had Spence and Crawford, I'd say he's probably one of the most naturally gifted fighters since Floyd. Some people may even say Sugar Ray, But again, we have to... Even though the guy looks so good and he's so great, because he's never been a champion and his resume is thin, it's hard to really put him on that kind of pedestal. But like I said, your eyes don't lie to you. And what I see is someone that's very special. And the thing is, the reason why I'm giving so praise, I don't really see anyone stopping him. The only guys that could stop him is Spence and Crawford. And I would favor him in those fights. But again, people will say, well, Imran, he hasn't fought anybody. He needs to fight the top guys for us to see how good he is. Has he got a chin? Has he got heart? But like I said, man, skills pay the bills. And this guy's skill set is so good. He's so gifted. He's such a great fighter. So, I don't see anyone beating this guy. I think he beats Spence. I do. I think he's faster than Spence. I think he's got better footwork than Spence. I think he's as big as Spence. I think he hits harder than Spence. So, to be brutally honest with you, and also, he's got more in his arsenal than Spence. He can go from orthodox to southpaw. And then he's powerful in both stances. For me, Crawford in orthodox isn't as powerful as he is in... I think in southpaw, Crawford becomes more vicious. This guy just knocked a guy out yesterday. And I know the guy's not of high level. Custody or Clayton, a lot of people thought would give Ennis a fight. But Ennis just completely washed him. This guy from both stances can crack. From both stances, he can knock you out in the southpaw stance and he can knock you out in the orthodox stance. Crawford can, but I've never looked at Crawford. Crawford, I know he's been getting a lot of knockouts of late, but I've never really looked at Crawford as a concussive one-punch knockout artist. I think this guy is. I know Crawford has been knocking guys out, but I think this guy is a concussive knockout artist that is fast, got great foot. He's got everything, man. He's complete. He's going to be difficult to beat. Let's be brutally honest. My eyes don't lie to me. He's one of the best talents I've seen in the last 20 years. Up-and-coming talents. So yeah, I think he's going to be very difficult to beat. I think he's going to take over the welterweight division. But you know, if you guys disagree with me, let me know your thoughts. Maybe some of you disagree with me. Maybe you think I'm hyping him up a bit too much and he doesn't deserve that credit. But yeah, leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.